Welcome back. I'm Eden Shekel. Thanks for joining us this afternoon on Fox 4. The trial of Tanner Horner is nearing a close. The trial started with the former delivery driver pleading guilty to kidnapping and killing 7-year-old Athena Strand in 2022. Soon a Tarrant County jury will decide if he should receive the death penalty or life in prison. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is live in Fort Worth with more. Peyton.
Hello, Eden. We are at the end of the day today here on Monday, and I can tell you the state has rested and the defense has rested. So starting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., we will begin closing arguments as we get to the end of this punishment trial for Tanner Horner. But this afternoon, we've been in the middle of a few rebuttal witnesses from the state. One of the witnesses, a man who goes by the name Billy, only his first name was provided publicly. He says he was raised as Horner's cousin, and Billy testified on the stand that he was sexually assaulted by Tanner Horner when he was 10 years old and then again when he was 13 years old. This was 20 plus years ago. And then a prosecutor asked Billy why he came forward now, why during this trial. And here was Tanner Horner's reaction as Billy gave his answer.
Dates may be a little foggy, but is what Tanner Horner did to you, is that clear in your mind?
Yes.
Why come forward now?
I figured the truth needs to be told.
Billy said he posted these allegations on Facebook a few weeks ago and wanted to testify as a prosecution witness. Billy also described another incident around 2008 when Horner told him he wondered what it would be like to kill somebody. Horner has already pleaded guilty to killing 7-year-old Athena Strand. The jury will decide two possible fates: life in prison without the possibility of parole or death row for Tanner Horner. Another witness we saw today, Timothy Fitzpatrick with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, said death row has more security, more structure, and more supervision compared to general population, which is where Horner would go if he receives life in prison.
Is prison a stressful environment?
I think that could be a very good way to put it. It is inherently negative, right? You have an environment where you have thousands of people who don't want to be there. And so, yes, it can be stressful. It can be a negative environment. And that's something that we have to manage daily.
Now, Eden, earlier this morning, the defense called its last witness to the stand. It was a child development expert. Her name is Dr. Jolie Brahms, and she talked about topics the defense hopes will spare Horner's life, and that includes Dr. Brahms testified Horner had a difficult upbringing with his family, and due to Horner's autism, he doesn't cope with stressors like a mature adult, and then eventually melts down. Dr. Brahms said Horner had difficulty talking to law enforcement and difficulty understanding the gravity of the situation. But in cross-examination, you will hear prosecutors fire back questions to Dr. Brahms. Take a listen.
He had grandma on and off, but he didn't have a family that taught him to be competent and confident. And when you're not taught that, later in life, you act like the age that you never got that at. So there's times when I talk to Tanner, I literally can believe I'm talking to a 6-year-old.
He knew exactly what he was doing when he sexually assaulted her.
If he's sexually assaulting her, he knew it was sexual assault. I will agree with that.
And he knew exactly what he was doing when he choked her and he beat her to death.
I know. I think that is true. I think he knew that would cause her great harm, if not death.
Dr. Brahms also testified Horner did share details with her about being sexually assaulted by his landlord when he was 10 years old. The final rebuttal witness this afternoon, he just wrapped up. It was a psychiatrist, and he testified in front of the jury that in his opinion, there's a probability Horner will commit future acts of violence and pose a threat to society, even if he was in prison. We will have more from that psychiatrist in about an hour at 5:30. Eden, back to you.
Peyton Yeager for us in Fort Worth. Thank you so much for that update.